and welcome back to another session over here at the Sanctuary with your girl and guide, Mariah Miles, licensed therapist, ordained minister, and overall creative. And I'm just going to jump right in because I am so excited to continue our exploration of connection this month. As a matter of fact, I just came back in from a short afternoon walk, and I was just kind of thinking about all the ways that I want to have in this conversation. But today we're focusing on nurturing our relationships. Last time we focused on nurturing our relationship with self, and this week we're talking about nurturing relationships with others, which is really essential for our emotional well-being and personal growth. And of course, we're still following along with my journal, Busy Minds, Peaceful Hearts. So sit back, relax. It's time to tune in. So this idea of connection, right? But this idea of connection with others can really enrich our lives if we let it, because it can provide this sense of support and this sense of joy, maybe even a sense of belonging to an extent, depending on what belonging means to you. And as we dive into this topic, I really want to explore just how we can cultivate this deeper, more meaningful relationship. And not just as a relationship singular, but relationships plural in our lives. And although I say that it's important to have that, I wonder maybe for you to take a moment to pause and reflect, right? Why is having nurturing relationships so vital in your life? And just consider it. What's the first thing that pops up for you? I think for me, just because of the industry that I'm in, the idea of a healthy relationship, I recognize can really contribute significantly to our overall mental health and our emotional health. And not just because the research shows that people with those strong social connections can experience that lower level of stress or higher level of happiness or even a better physical health. No, but because we recognize that when we feel connected, it's a feeling, right? And so how do you measure the level of connection you have with others? How do you know that this is a solid connection, that it feels good, that this is a nurturing relationship? So I want to invite you to think about a time when you felt supported, whether it was a friend or maybe a family member, but just considering how those moments of connection, how did they lift your spirit? Or did they? How did it provide a sense of comfort, maybe during a tough time? But I'm also really sitting with the idea that what are the elements that add to when we feel disconnected? Because something about that disconnection can really lead to feelings of loneliness and despair. And I'm going to jump into that a little later because I was sitting with a client the other day and this really comes up for me. But nurturing relationships really require a sense of intentionality, right? And for all you gardeners out there, you recognize that when you're gardening, it requires regular care and attention to thrive, right? And so this really means making an effort to be present, communicate openly, and showing appreciation for those we care about. You know, I've shown appreciation in many ways, but some of the ways is just, verbally communicating, like, thank you, I really appreciate you, or I appreciated when you did that. And sometimes it feels hard when other people dismiss that appreciation. And maybe it's more about them. But can you receive when other people show you that appreciation? And so reflecting on our relationships can be very eye-opening. Are they connections that we've neglected? Are there ways that you could invest more time and energy into nurturing those bonds that uplift you? And that might be a place to pause and reflect, right? Maybe you write that down. Are there ways that you could invest more time and energy into nurturing those bonds that uplift you? I recently worked with a client, the one that I just mentioned a little bit ago, who was really going through a major family disruption and also was experiencing a big loss of peer relationships all at one time. And they were also facing a lot of academic stress. And she found that she was pulling away from everything that once brought her connection and joy. And I have to be honest, it was pretty heartbreaking to see her struggle in this way. The activities that used to inspire her, like engaging in creative projects or even participating in her church community, they all felt like chores. And she was napping more and trying to escape the heaviness of her feelings without even recognizing it. And as we explored what creates connection for her, it became clear that what she wanted most was to connect with others. Yet she was almost punishing herself by withdrawing from those very connections. She was internalizing her pain, believing that distancing herself was a way to cope. And this is such a common struggle because many of us face it. We've been there at some point in some way. And when we're feeling overwhelmed, what do? We often retreat from the very things that could provide comfort and support, right? It's a cycle that can be so difficult to break and maybe to even see. And that's the thing I like about therapy is having this person kind of help you not just reframe things, but recognize the patterns that are coming up. And so for this client, recognizing those patterns was a really crucial step for her. And we talked about how nurturing relationships requires effort and intention, even when it feels challenging. Because ultimately, that's the feeling you're seeking, is that connection. And we might think, I can't bother others with my problems, or what if they don't understand? But it's crucial to remember that vulnerability can deepen our connections. And by recognizing these barriers, these obstacles, right, is the first step. And by acknowledging them, we can start to begin to dismantle all the walls that we've built and open ourselves up to connection again. So how can we actively nurture our relationships? Well, here are some fresh strategies. And I'm going to keep them simple. And you might want to write them down. But the first point is creating rituals of connection. Because when we establish simple rituals that we talked about way back when, and especially when we do them with loved ones, like maybe a set time for a weekly coffee date or a monthly game night, these regular touch points can reinforce our bonds and create really lasting memories. And then we don't feel like maybe we're needing to control the situation. Maybe we can get out of our own way when we're thinking, I don't want other people to have to care about me in this again. It's already set. Our next point is practicing vulnerability. So when you feel safe or safe enough, share your thoughts and your feelings. And I know that can be tricky, but this can invite others to do the same. And it allows us to foster that deeper intimacy and understanding in your relationships. And lastly, engage in acts of kindness. Like, what would it be like to surprise someone with a small gesture? Maybe like a thoughtful note or a homemade treat, or just because, right? It feels good when somebody's just thinking of you in that way. But these acts of kindness can really strengthen your connections and remind others that they're valued. Such a small gesture that can mean the world of a difference to someone and to yourself. Today's somatic practice is gentle breathing. And this practice will help us center us and create a sense of calm, which is essential for nurturing connections. Begin by finding a comfortable position. Whether you're sitting or lying down, allow your arms to rest gently in your lap or at your side. And as you settle in here, I invite you to take a moment to set an intention for this practice. You might say, I choose to be gentle with myself. Or maybe I choose to be present and open to connection. Whatever feels right to you. And as we begin, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose for the count of 4. And as you inhale, imagine drawing in warmth and positivity. This energy filling your body, bringing warmth and light. And holding that breath for 2 seconds, just feeling the energy within you. And slowly release the breath through your mouth for the count of 6. Letting go of any tension. Imagine everything dissipating with each exhale. And continue to repeat the practice, inhaling deeply through your nose for the count of 4. Drawing in all that yummy, positive energy. And holding the breath for 2. Exhaling slowly through your mouth for the count of 6. Just releasing what no longer serves you. Inhaling, pausing, opening your mouth and releasing, exhaling. I invite you to continue this breathing pattern at your own pace. Inhaling for 4, holding for 2, exhaling for 6. Allowing yourself to repeat this cycle several times. And as you breathe, allow yourself just to feel nourished and connected. Tuning into the breath. Allowing yourself to continue to feel that energy flowing through you. Noticing what you feel, any sensations that arise. And slowly allowing the breath to soften and returning back to its natural rhythm. And as you do, feeling the weight of your body once again, gently bringing your awareness back to the room, to this space. And when it feels right, opening your eyes, tuning back in to notice how you feel. Feel free to pause this recording, maybe sit with your thoughts or take out a journal and write down something. As we wrap up today's session, I really invite you to reflect on the importance of nurturing our relationships, remembering that strong connections enhance our emotional well-being and enrich our lives, right? So take some time this week to reach out to someone you care about. Engage in that open communication. Maybe you express some gratitude and just be present in your interactions, all the while paying attention to your body's cues. What patterns are coming up for you? What's getting in the way of you engaging fuller, showing up for your life fully? So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this session inspires you to cultivate deeper, more meaningful relationships in your life. And hey, maybe share it with a friend. Inspire someone else. And don't forget to like or subscribe so you never miss a session here at the Sanctuary. And until next time, embrace each breath and remember that our bodies have this innate wisdom, the beautiful ability to heal itself. And we heal best in community. Love and light. Peace, y'all. While this podcast may feel like a therapeutic conversation, it is important to note that it is not a substitute for professional therapy or mental health. The information shared here is intended solely for educational purposes and should not be used as a replacement for personalized mental health care. Although I am a therapist, I'm not acting as your therapist in this setting. If you are in need of support, please reach out to a qualified mental health professional.